Welcome to day one of your new relationship with sugar. I'm Sylvia, and I'm here to invite you to take a 7-day sugar holiday with me. I strongly believe that today's healthcare crisis is more of a self-care crisis, and at the root of it is sugar. So over the next 7 days, 7 videos, we are gonna go through the carefully constructed process that will help you to gain more awareness, consciousness, and mindfulness of your own sugar consumption, and hopefully help you to change your relationship with sugar. This is about giving you back your freedom. Often when I start to work with new clients, they tell me they're very conscious of actually taking on coaching because they are scared that their freedom is going to be taken away. And I asked them, what is that freedom? Well, I can eat a dessert whenever I want. I can have a cookie or a bowl of ice cream if I feel like to. If I'm at the, conference meeting and there is a plate of bagels offered to me, I can have that. And the coach usually tells me, what to eat and what not to eat. So they feel their freedom is going to be restricted. But then I asked them, okay, but can you not eat these foods? And they don't quite know what I mean by that. And I say, imagine if you are not hungry and a bowl of ice cream is put right in front of you, or a plate of deliciously smelling chocolate chip cookies has been served and put right in front of you. Can you not eat them when you're not hungry? And you know what? Most of the people will answer, no, not really. Even if I'm not hungry, I'll still try some, and I'll still have some. So then I ask, where is your freedom? Today we live in an age and a world when our food freedom has been taken away in a number of ways. And one of these ways is that just we are given ingredients. So we are eating what we are served. And if you think about it, us as a human race, we experience more painful diseases than any other species because we are eating ready processed food, and we actually cannot really decide to follow our natural conscious instincts. We are eating and we're just following, convenience trends. So that's why I have decided to design this 7-day no sugar challenge. So today, on the day one, I want you to give up absolutely nothing. Give yourself even an extra permission to have whatever you want. If sometimes you have a bit of a, food angel and food devil conversation going in your head, should we have that little cookie? No, you shouldn't, look at yourself in the mirror. Or maybe just one, or maybe just two. No, you don't. Today, you listen to the sugar devil. Today, you can have whatever you want. If you have been using your willpower to resist something, just shut it off, go ahead and have it. But the thing that I would like you to add is awareness. And it works like this. Step 1, I want you to read food labels and the ingredients of everything you need. I want you to gain awareness of how sugar, corn syrup, glucose, fructose is literally in everything and is hidden in everything. So before you eat anything, packaged foods, bottled drinks, cans, whatever, just read the ingredients label, please. Step 2, notice how it makes you feel. Does it as good as you thought it will? Does it really? Maybe yes, maybe no. Step 3, right after you eat it, notice how you feel. And step 4, I want to know again how you feel 30 minutes later. Because sometimes, when we eat something sweet, it gives you this jolt of energy and you feel great. But half an hour later, that energetic feeling is disappearing and you're starting to probably feel more lethargic and you're experiencing more of a food coma rather than, increased energy. So I want you to be aware of how you're feeling post consuming something sweet. And the other part of today's homework is to tune in into your emotions. Why do we get hungry? Usually when we have a craving for something sweet, there is an emotion preceding that state. So you are experiencing an emotional state, and it's usually a low emotion. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit sad or frustrated or stressed out or bored. And the thought process is maybe that if I have that one cookie, a little ice cream, a few crisps, I'll just feel better. So today we start looking at what is that emotion, because once you have identified it, it is called a trigger emotion, you know what to watch out for in the future. So what is your trigger emotion for consuming and giving into your cravings? Then the next step is to ask yourself a question. How do I want to feel once I have eaten that sweet food? So maybe somebody who is a bit sad and depressed is thinking of eating a donut or a cookie or a bit of ice cream. They want to feel better. But what is better? Can you name it slightly more precisely? To feeling more loved, connected, significant? To feel a bit more certain of yourself? Why? And also ask yourself, why do we think that way? And I bet, and it's probably a process a lot of us came at some point in our childhood. Imagine you are in the park and, you fell off the bike and you scratch your knee and it's just painful and horrible, and you run to your mommy and, she gives you lots of hugs and kisses, and she puts a bit of a plaster on your knee, and then she kisses you, and then she gives you a piece of chocolate or a cookie, and bang, right this minute, a new neural connection has been made in your brain, that sweet thing is going to make you feel better, and it's going to and you connected the sweetness to feeling loved and to feel better. So this is the origin, and I bet most of us have come, through this process, and you have created this false belief that sweetness equals feeling loved. So there is 2 steps. So today I want you to notice how you feel before you eat this food and what I'm hoping to feel afterwards. And there is 2 steps to this process. Notice this emotion. How would you like to feel after eating certain foods? And secondly, what are the alternative ways of actually experiencing the emotion of that feeling loved and connected and more significant? How else can you achieve this emotion? Perhaps you can call somebody or go for a walk. What can you do to feel more energetic? So ask yourself the question, what other way can I make myself feel the way I want to feel? And next, observe the feeling you have the minute you decide to eat the food, because it's not the food that makes you feel better. It's the thought process that believe that you have the chocolate makes you feel more happy. So the minute you feel sad or bored or whatever, and then you decide, okay, I'm going to have chocolate, and you feel like, oh, I'm going to have chocolate, and you start to feel a lot better. So it's not actually the food that makes you feel better, but it's actually the thought process and that ingrained belief that the food is going to make you feel better. So pay attention to that. And next, I want you to observe is the reaction after the first bite. At that point, ask yourself, is it as good as I thought it's going to be? Because, humans often eat automatically after the first bite. It's evolutionary design. We shut off our consciousness, and wherever it tastes good and wherever you're full or not, you just keep eating until your plate is empty. And again, I want you to have a more awareness and consciousness, again, how you feel after the first bite. And then notice how you feel right after eating that food, and then again half an hour later. So your homework for today is eat what you eat, allow yourself what you have been resisting, observe, observe, observe. I'll see you next time. Bye. Good luck.